Unity Homes at Ballston Station, how would I describe it? A miracle in some ways. A congregation, Central United Methodist Church, 17 years ago started down the path in service of their community, thinking what more they can do beyond being, the church where they had served for over a century. And they started outreach to the homeless. That evolved to, a few years later in 2014, a decision to redevelop into affordable housing. And it took 10 years to achieve this vision. They went through step after step after step, and 4 times we failed as affordable housing developers, not just myself, others, to secure the financing. And frankly, we had walked away from the transaction. We came back to the church and said, you know what? We will get this done with you. And it's 144 households that will, for 75 years and beyond, have affordable housing in this location. It is about not just a real estate. We have a third of our staff is on the resident services side, so it's everything from helping people navigate food access. It's about economic mobility and partnering with them and their families so their kids have access to college programs or workforce development programs. The housing is just a start, but it's the platform to do all of this other work. And the church is a big part of it. I think on a personal note, it is awe of the faithfulness of the congregation. It is their work and it's their vision that ensured this happened. Housing and community. We can solve so many problems together in community if we are innovative, creative, supporting each other, leveraging what we each bring to the table.
Housing Initiative Partnership believes that housing is a human right and everyone deserves to live in dignity and affordable housing. And right now, with the growing population of seniors, we're finding more and more that there's a struggle around affordable housing for our senior community. And so Residents of Springbrook was a great opportunity to provide high quality housing for seniors who are struggling to meet their day-to-day needs. So Residents of Springbrook is a 90-unit affordable senior community, and we serve residents who are 62 and older and live independently. It's 90 units with extensive community space. We have a lovely front porch where our residents gather to watch the comings and goings of the community. We have expansive lobby space where they can gather their mail. We have a fitness room, we have a billiards room, we have a large community space for all of our food events and programming.
It's important that we invest in our seniors in this region. Like, the cost of living here is really expensive. We need to make sure that folks that have been here, that have lived here, that have grown up here, that have worked here and served here can stay here. And so we want to make sure that we're part of that, being able to stay here.
This project was really an amazing opportunity. Howard Irvin with Parallax Development found the land, but didn't necessarily have the development experience to bring it to fruition. Came to HIP as a potential partner. At that time, we had 30 years of development experience, but we didn't have the balance sheet to complete a $30 million deal on our own. And that's when we reached out to Bank of America, CDC, as a partner in this project to bring their financial balance sheet to the project.
I think it's important for Bank of America to be a partner in this project because, one, we believe in affordable housing, we believe in senior housing. And when you have an opportunity to work with 2 great partners, one being Parallax and the other being HIP, you take that opportunity. And so what we can bring is our expertise from a balance sheet perspective, but then also from a development perspective. So we were excited that we were asked to join this project.
For us, it's housing and resident services, and so that engagement with staff and residents to build community, to bring life to the apartment community that you're in, to make those connections, to ensure that you have strong health care, that you have access to economic development, that you have access to community.
May
Mayor Bowser, from her first term, has made $100 million commitment every year since her term. So that's amounted to over maybe $1.5 billion at this point. Commitment to housing. It's a great place to be when you have a mayor that's saying, build. To create affordable housing and housing in general, you need investment. So we had investment in terms of the government. We had investment that followed from the private sector. We had a regulatory environment that made sure that building permits were moving and people could get their plans and designs approved quickly. I think the greatest challenge right now is the market. We are having trouble in terms of keeping up with the expenses of the housing market. Insurance has gone up, and there's a lot of advocacy from all sides. But if you don't have a roof over your head, that affects the end user, which is the tenant and everyday citizen, as well as the person that owns and operates a property. Housing and collaborative, sustainable growth, along with legislative commitment and responsiveness. We think about all of the requirements that are there, paying your taxes, everything like so. Collaborative, sustainable growth, and working with other agencies that provide permits, that look at the design, that zoning regulations. Like those are all the things that are important and are really collaborative. Really takes. I don't want to say a village, but it does take collaboration from all these different entities. I think sustainable investment and commitment to a location, right, is important. It's ownership. It is where I can plan to be great. And at the end of the day, it's a human necessity. It should be an absolute right. It should never be in question, because that's how we have a better community, better humans, better sustainability, healthier people, healthier children, healthier families. It starts at home, it really does.
We are a nonprofit that helps people with developmental disabilities find affordable housing and then thrive once they live there. Folks with developmental disabilities, this might be the first time they are living in their own apartment. We're there to help them learn how to be a good neighbor, how to advocate for themselves. Everyone who lives together in a neighborhood or in an apartment building are curious about each other, and not only accept each other, but applaud each other. So the leasing office sees that there's a unit free. They communicate it to the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services. I get an email that says we've got a unit. I blast it out to our community who have said we really want housing. And so that process all has to happen really quickly. It's like a matter of days. And before OSG, that didn't exist. Now, because we're here making that communication, we're closing that communication gap, we've housed over 70 people. We're moving out of a history of segregation and isolation. The inclusive future is where people of all ages, abilities, cultures are right there in the center of civic life. And so, especially for people with developmental disabilities, we want them to feel welcomed. We want to give them the housing and the skills and the community around them so that they thrive long term. For our stomping ground, it's housing and belonging. So we are a housing first model. It's important to put a roof over people's heads, but that's not enough. We need to feel like we truly belong right here. It's everybody in the building feeling like when they walk in the front door, it is their home.
Everyone deserves access to affordable, safe, and quality housing. It's really the foundation to access other opportunities and to build a better life, and really try to instill these principles in my work every day. I've always been interested in the built environment and design, and I actually started my career working in architecture. I really enjoyed the design work, but was interested in making an impact in affordable housing. Affordable housing is such a huge issue in our region, and wanted to be a part of an organization like Wesley Housing that really makes an impact in the lives of our most vulnerable community members. The Capital Region has some of the most affluent communities in the country, and homelessness remains a persistent issue. People with disabilities, there's a lack of opportunity to live independently because of a shortage of affordable and accessible housing. At Wesley, I think we've recognized this gap and have partnered with some incredible service providers, including the Lamb Center and Melwood, to develop affordable, accessible, service-enriched communities, one of them being Beacon Landing Development. There's just an incredible need for this type of permanent supportive housing where the wraparound services are really focused on housing stability. This year, I think we've been focused on housing and resiliency. Resiliency not only for our residents, but also for the communities themselves. I think I'm just very appreciative of the recognition. Again, I think that I really see what I do as just a part of a larger piece that so many are investing their time and advocacy in. And so I really am honored and look forward to continue to build relationships and advance our mission.
When we develop affordable housing, we really need to be thinking about the needs of our residents. And many low-income families rely on public transportation. And so by having affordable housing near major transit lines, it really provides them opportunities for jobs. It provides them access to grocery stores and shops and restaurants. And most importantly, it really gives them a chance to spend more time with their family at the end of the day. I've talked to so many residents. I understand and have heard some really horrific stories of families in need, and it just has moved me to say, you know, this is such an important fundamental right that residents should have, a place to call home. Chimes of North Bethesda is an exciting project that represents 163 new homes right in walking distance to the North Bethesda Metro, probably the most area of opportunity in Montgomery County. You've got unbelievable schools and restaurants and shops and so much activity there that it really provides low-income families a great opportunity. Gardens of Gaithersburg was really a rundown property on a major corridor, 355, in the city of Gaithersburg, and we were able to preserve that property so someone didn't come in, redevelop it, and kick out all the residents. But most importantly, we were able to really give it a facelift, a major renovation, and now the families live in quality homes. The residents at Forest Glen is probably one of our most exciting, and it's probably a big signature project for Montgomery County. We really took an old, dilapidated 70-unit building, knocked it down, and in its place arose 189 affordable homes within walking distance to the Forest Glen Metro. It's a beautiful project, great access, and it's really just a wonderful development we're really proud of. The work we do as affordable housing developers is hard. I'm really appreciative of the work that HAND does. These projects wouldn't happen if not for these organizations. I'm not really thinking about my legacy. I'm really thinking about just all the people that we've been able to help, and for me, that's satisfaction enough. Our motto is housing people, empowering families, and strengthening neighborhoods. And so it's not just about the bricks and the mortar. It's about the family that has the key, it's turning in and walking into their new home. And when we've done that, we have succeeded.